Morning students, this is Nazir Hussain, your SST subject teacher. Again, welcome you all in STBA online classes. I hope you all are fine and healthy. Students, today we will continue the chapter of Civics, Lesson 1, the Indian Constitution. But before continuing the chapter, we will do quick revision that we had discussed in last class. Students, in last class, we had a discussion on what is a constitution and what is the need of it. We understood this through the example of Nepal. Earlier, the Nepal was having the monarchic government, but now it is having a democratic type of government. Here is the definition of constitution. We will again revise it. A constitution is a set of rules that guides how a country, state or other political organization works. The constitution may tell what are the branches, what powers they have and how it works. It may also state the rights of citizens. So, for every country, it is necessary to have a constitution because it helps us, it protects us from the unhealthy situations which may occur in our life. Now, we will continue the lesson. Students, the Constitution of India is a unique constitution. It is the largest written liberal democratic constitution in the world. First, we will discuss the important factors of Indian Constitution. First, the Constitution was adopted on November 26, 1949, while it came into force on January 26, 1950. Second point, the first session of the Constituent Assembly was held on 24th of Jan 1950, which unanimously elected Dr. Rajendra Prasad as the President of India. Third, the Constituent Assembly took almost 3 years to complete it, like 2 years, 11 months and 17 days. Fourth, this assembly had 284 members, out of which 15 were women. The Constitution of India was not typeset or printed, but it was handwritten and calligraphied in both English and Hindi languages. 6th point, Prem Bihari Narayan Rayajada of Delhi wrote the entire constitution in a flowing italic style in the best calligraphic tradition of our country. 7th, this task of writing by Prem Sahib was completed in 6 months. He used 254 pen holders nibs of number 303. 8. Each page of it was decorated by the artist from Shantiniketan. Next 9 point. The Indian Constitution draws bits and pieces from the other world constitution like Irish, British, US, Canadian, German, Australian, etc. 10th point. Our constitution has a total of 117,369 words in its English language version. 11th. The original copies of constitution are kept in special helium-filled cases in the library of the Parliament of India. 12 point. In a drafting committee, there were 7 members, like Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. He was the chairman of this committee. And Gopalaswamy Iyengar, Aladi Krishnaswamy Iyer, Syed Muhammad Sadullah, K.M. Munshi, B.L. Meter. Later, B.L. Meter Sahib resigned and replaced by N. Madhav Rao. D.P. Khaitan. After his death, he was replaced by T. Krishnamachari. Next, 13th point. The ideals of liberty, equality and fraternity in our preamble have been taken from the French Revolution, which is also the French motto. Our last point. On January 26, 1950, India also adopted Sarnath, the lion capital of Ashoka, with the wheel, bull and horse as the national emblem of India. Now, let's try and understand the ways in which the points which we had discussed translated into ideals and rules. We will do this through the discussion of some important key features of Indian Constitution. By the beginning of the 20th century, the Indian national movement had been active in the struggle for independence of India from Britishers for several decades. During the freedom struggle, the nationalists had devoted a great deal of time to imagine and plan what a free India would be like. Under the British rule, the Indian people were always forced to follow the rules and regulations made by the Britishers only. Just because of this, the nationalists always thinking that free India should be a democratic country in which every person should be treated equally, be allowed to participate in government. This work was not done by a single person, but by a group of people of around 300 who became the members of Constituent Assembly and who met periodically for next 3 years to write the Indian Constitution. It was a huge task for the members of the Constituent Assembly because India was made up of several different communities who belonged to different religion and culture. And also, when Constitution was being written, India was going through the partition of India and Pakistan. The social and economic condition of the people of India was very bad. These issues were in the mind of the members of the Constituent Assembly while making the Indian Constitution. Finally, when it was drafted, it was a document that reflects a respect for maintaining diversity and preserving national unity. Now, we will discuss some important key features of the Indian Constitution. While listening these key features, students, keep the concerns in your mind like diversity, unity, social economic condition, reforms, etc. so that you understand your Indian Constitution concept easily. First is federalism. It is a type of government in which the power is divided between the national government and the other government units like states or provinces. In India, we have government on 3 levels like central level, state level and third one is the Panchayati level. About Panchayati Raj system you read in your 6th class and the functions of the state you read in the 7th class. This year you will learn more about the central government. Students, the Constitution contains list that details the issue on which every level of government has to make rules. In addition to it, such constitution also specifies that from where does any government will get the money for its development. Now second is parliamentary form of government. Students, the three different levels of government that we have discussed now consist of representatives that are elected by the elections. As I told you before, that while drafting the Indian Constitution, the members of the Constituent Assembly decided that Free India would be a democratic country where all the citizens are equal and they can participate in government. So, the Indian Constitution guarantees the universal adult franchise to all the citizens of India, whether they belong to any caste, creed, religion, color, etc. Now, our third point is separation of powers. According to the Constitution, there are three organs of the government. These are the legislature, the executive, and the third one is the judiciary. The legislature refers to our elected representatives. The executive is a smaller group of people who are responsible for implementing laws and running the government. And the third, judiciary, refers to the system of courts in the country. And in order to prevent the misuse of the power by the government organ, the Constitution says that all the organs of government will have different powers. Through this act, organs act as a check on the other organs of the government. Now, our fourth right is fundamental rights. The British rule had created a certain suspicion or intuition of the state in the minds of the nationalists, and they wanted to ensure that a set of written rights would guard against the misuse of state power in independent India. The Constitution thus guarantees the rights of the individual against the state as well as the individuals. Now, our first right is right to equality. According to it, all persons are equal before law. This means that all persons shall be equally protected by the laws of the country, and none of the citizens can be discriminated against on the basis of their religion, caste, etc. Every person has access to all public places like hotels, restaurants, temple, mosques, cinema halls, etc. The untouchability has been abolished. Second is right to freedom. This includes the right to freedom of speech, expression, right to form associations, right to move freely in any part of the country, and right to practice any profession, occupation or business. Third, right against exploitation. The Constitution prohibits human trafficking, forced labor and employment of children under 14 years of age. Next, right to freedom of religion. Every person has the right to practice, profess and propagate the religion of their choice. Fifth, cultural and educational rights. The Constitution states that in order to preserve and develop their own culture, all the minorities, religious or linguistic, can set up their own educational institutions. Last, right to constitutional remedies. This allows citizens to move the court if they believe that any of their fundamental rights have been violated. Now, fifth key feature of Indian Constitution is secularism. A secular state is one in which the state does not promote any religion as a state religion. We will understand this heading more in the next chapter. In addition to fundamental rights, the Constitution has also a section of directive principles. The aim of these principles has to create a social and economic conditions under which the citizens can lead a good life. Now, I hope you understand the ideas, rules and concepts behind the making of the Constitution. The main motto of the Indian Constitution to make every citizen of India equal and nobody should be discriminated against their caste, creed, religion, etc. That's all for today, children. Be safe.